Hey, what's up, everyone? Thor here. Just want to give my final predictions for the new Scream movie since it's coming out in a couple weeks. So I'm just going to kind of go through each of the main characters and what I think is going to happen with them. So just appropriate to start with Gail. I she's kind of the holdover. They had the whole disagreement with Nev Campbell. That could just be a red herring. They're hinting at that this could be the end for Gale, and I think they could do that for multiple reasons, and I'll jump into it later. I think she may die in this one or the next one. She might not die at all, but I think she could possibly get taken out in this one to kind of continue passing the torch to the new cast, especially since Nev Campbell's not in it. There's rumors of a secret cameo. Well, they've said there's like a secret cameo. I think the secret cameo could be maybe Nev comes in at the end, makes an appearance, and helps save the day. Give her, because I think Nev's coming back for the seventh one, so that's why I also think that Gale might die here. That would give Nev a reason to get involved again, or the last final ghost face is going to bring her in. Because my theory is that I don't think I think the other guest appearance could be Stu. I think this movie is going to be very parallel to Scream 2. I think the main Ghostface in this one's going to be like a kind of minor character you don't see a lot. That's kind of in the back of your mind, just kind of like Stu's mom was in number 2. She was just a reporter that showed up a couple times, and then you get the twist. So I think someone's going to be related to Stu. I do think they might lead into Stu being alive. Maybe there's like 3 Ghostface. I think you'll only see 2 in here, but I think other people will be wearing it. Maybe hint at like a cult, because I mean, originally Scream 3 was supposed to be like, I believe what I heard is the script for the following was pretty much the script of the original Scream 3. Fortunately, we got what we got, but you know, Scream 3 wasn't the worst, but it's probably the worst Scream movie. So I think 5 was good. I think with 6, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a little more brutal. I think this Ghostface killer is going to be more intimidating, not as funny as others. I also think that, like I said, yeah, I think he's going to definitely leave a mark, but I think they're going to build up to a bigger conclusion to kind of wrap everything up with the new and old. So they have to have, some agency for it. And I think taking out Courtney Cox or Gale Weathers in this one or the next one could be good. I think they have to bring Nev back. It would be cool in this one if Nev or something showed up as the killer, but I don't think they're ever going to do that. They hinted at it before, or having another character. I don't think they're going to do that. They've also kind of hinted at either Tara or Sam being the killer. I don't think it's either of them, and I'll get into details and go into each reason why, but I don't think it can be Gale, not at this point, but I think she could die in this one, but it might be too soon with Dewey going down, so maybe she makes it to the next one, but it could be make for a really good moment, so. In some of the trailers, they show her talking to someone. I think one of the other characters on this list is her psychologist, and I think that's what he plays. I'm guessing he gets killed, and maybe it looks like she did it. Just a theory, but I think they show a couple of scenes that are being pretty bloody, so I think she's gonna, especially after killing Jack Quay, or however you say his name in the last one, that she's gonna put up maybe the most fight of everyone, because she's had that experience, and she took out the killer in the last one, so she kind of stood side by side with Nev Campbell, stood by with Sydney. So between her and Tara, one of them are like kind of going to be the Sydney of this film, I guess. So really curious how they bring it all together, though, because without Sydney, it's going to be interesting how they wrap it all together and tie it together. But I think, like I said, I think it's going to be the second one. I think it's all going to tie to Stu somehow. And I think it's going to have something to do with the new characters. So I'll get into that as I go. All right, so now we have Tara Carpenter, who's the half-sister of Sam. They had a rocky relationship, but they kind of got it back together in the last one. She's huge because of Wednesday. I don't think they make her the killer. She was also some people think it because she survived the opening kill in the first one, but I think that was just, a red herring or like some kind of chance. There's a big rumor that there's a third Ghostface, and I think there could be. There's been rumors that Stu's been helping out since the first one, that he's just been the mastermind. If they go that route, I think they'll save it for like the last one. Like I said, I think Stu could be the surprise guest character. I think it could be Nev Campbell. Maybe Cotton Weary makes an appearance. I think someone's gonna show up towards the end to really. I think this is gonna be a good one. I think this is gonna be kind of like a bloody good entry. Like, I think this Ghostface is gonna be a little more intimidating, but I think they're gonna build up to something big for a huge conclusion. They kind of have to. They have, go all out. Let's do it. But I don't think it'll be Tara. I don't think they'll kill her off either because, she's huge from Wednesday. There's no way they could do it. People would get upset. They don't want to do that. So I don't think she's dying. Don't think she's Ghostface. And I'm pretty sure she used an iPhone, and there's that rule where Apple's like, villains can't use iPhones. So I'd have to zoom in and see what phone it is, but that's supposedly that's a real thing. So next up, we have fan favorite Kirby. She was very popular in Scream 4. She was involved with one of the killers, Charlie, who was actually dating Jill secretly. So that was a huge twist. She kind of got stabbed and, was bleeding out or whatever. So they kind of mentioned it in 5 that she actually survived, but she wasn't present. I'm sorry. Yeah. It was 5. They mentioned that she was alive. So they hinted at this comeback. I don't think they kill her off. I think she makes an appearance. The rumor is that she's an FBI agent. That's kind of what I've heard. I think that's accurate. Working in New York, her near-death experience would make her want to solve crimes and help people. Makes a lot of sense. I think she's going to be the red herring because, maybe she's traumatized. But I think the killer has got some kind of either military or is like a detective, cop, whatever, because he's got that like bat cave of Scream murder stuff. Like, how does someone get that? They have to have access to some stuff. So my theory is it's in that this guy's tougher. He looks like he knows how to, he or she knows how to use weapons. So I don't think it's her. I think she'll be a red herring. I think it's someone that she works with. And there's only one other person they pointed. So he is my guess at the first one. The second one, I'm not so sure about, but that's my thoughts on her. Okay, so we got Mindy. Her and her brother are related to Randy. Everyone loved Randy in the first 3 because he made the cameo in 3, but obviously he gets taken out, unfortunately, in the second one. They kind of fill that role. They're obsessed with horror movies. They bring some of the humor. They're pretty big characters. Her brother's supposed to die in 5, but they liked him so much they kept him alive. I think one of these 2 are expendable. It'll probably be her brother since he was supposed to die. They probably brought him back. I think most of the cast that came back from the last one will survive, but I think 1 or 2 of them will drop, and my guess is it's one of these 2. So Minnie could be a possibility. They show her a lot in the trailers as possibly she's getting attacked, and I think she's with someone and they get attacked first. So they show her a lot. So I think they're trying to, maybe they're telling us that she gets taken out. Maybe they're saying she's on some close calls. I think she's closely tied to it because of the Randy link. So I think her and Chad are going to be pretty big in this one. All right, next up we have Chad. He obviously survived. The original script, it was written that he gets taken out, but they showed him being loaded into the ambulance, giving a thumbs up at the end, just because he's kind of likable. He was kind of the jock character, but he had a pretty decent personality. So I don't, of the two, I don't think he makes it out. I think one of them have to go, and I think it'll probably be him. They took out Liv, his girlfriend, the other one. They hinted that Liv could have been it because her phone was missing and Ghostface attacked. They always love the red herrings. I think there's a number of, like I said, I think one of the two of them got to go. I don't think it will be them. They have the link to Randy. I think this is linked. I think it all comes around the stew. Like I said, they it's gonna follow a similar story. I think they're all in college to Scream 2, so it all makes sense. Randy went down to Scream 2. I think one of them 100% is going. They're making you think that it's his sister, but I think it's probably Chad that goes. Chad was good, so that's to be unfortunate, but they took out Dewey in the last one, so anyone's fair game, right? This is the guy that I think is probably I think Kirby's superior. He is the one that I'm thinking could be it. They don't have his name here, but I believe it's Bailey. I think it's Detective Bailey they've shown. He's on the Guess Who one. If he's the superior to Kirby, he'd be like, it says he's a detective. So either way, he's, high profile. He'd have access to, the evidence, especially if he's been on these cases for a while. We don't know his history. It says even here that the actor says that he kind of gave a lot away. It says he says it's not my daughter's death, but strong family ties, and I think this ties to Stu. So to me, just from what he said, I think he's somehow related to Stu. I don't think he's the mastermind, though. I think that possibly Stu's still alive, and this is what my theory is, that he's a detective. He could have Stu in hiding. Stu's family was rich, so I'm not sure how maybe he's Stu's dad. I don't know, because none of the characters here would know. Gail Weathers wouldn't know, or an uncle or something, but I think this could strongly give to the original idea, having Stu still alive, having Stu end up being the mastermind, which would be kind of cool. A lot of people are guessing that, but still be kind of cool. I think he's the link. I think he's the brutal, tough Ghostface that they show with a shotgun that knew what he's doing, with a decayed mask, and I think there's another one, and I think that's one of the new characters. I'm not exactly sure which, and I'll try to kind of guess. It's hard to say because they don't say too much about the new characters. From what I can tell, you just see little tidbits of them. So this one's a little bit weird, but I think it's kind of obvious. Henry Czerny doesn't get... I don't think he gets... I couldn't find it. I don't think he's got a poster. I think he's probably the voiceover for Sam's psychologist. That's what someone rumored. And if Sam was a killer, my theory would be that he's the mastermind and kind of tricked her into it because he knows all about her. But I don't think that's the case. I'm thinking that maybe he's the first kill. He has a session with Sam. She leaves. He dies. And then Sam's like, oh no, it's happening again. That's a possibility. But I don't think he's the killer. I just think he's either in it very shortly, he dies, or he's a red herring. So I don't have too much to say about him. That's just my thoughts. All right, so these are all the 4 new characters. These will go pretty quick because they don't say much about them. I don't know which one could be the accomplice. I think I'm pretty on top of the main guy. I don't know who the accomplice will be. This is Ethan. They don't really show too much of him in really any of them in the trailer, so that's why I think they're kind of leaving that open in interpretation. So I'd love to see what they do with all that, but I'm just going to kind of scroll through these pretty quickly. So this is Quinn. She's another one of the newer characters. So she's the only one that they're not showing the last name, but I don't think that's a dead giveaway because they've done that before. I'm guessing she's probably got maybe she's got some relation to Stu or someone. She's probably related to someone. They don't want to reveal her name. I'm sure it'll be a really cool thing. But honestly, I think one of the new characters are a killer, and I think the other ones are just fodder. And I don't really have much to go on, so I don't really have a guess. I just I know it's kind of cheap, but I think I got at least the first part right. Next up, we have Annika. If I remember right from the trailers, I haven't watched them in a little bit. I think she's one that's on the phone often. So if it's an iPhone, she's definitely good. I'll have to check that out. But I think she's on the phone a lot. I'm guessing he'll be talking to her, texting her a lot. So she probably has something associated with the one of the four, like the girlfriend of a killer or something. The second killer or something to do with them. I don't know. She's on the phone a lot, so I'm thinking she's just dead, but maybe she's on the phone messaging people, talking about murder or something. Like I said, I think whether they're Ghostface or not, the four new characters will die at some point. Another one, Danny, don't know too much about him. He looks like one that's going to put up a fight, but I think he gets taken out. I think he's just fodder. I'm sure he'll have some kind of interesting character arc, or he's the other killer, but I don't know too much about the character, so he's kind of in that possible second character or fodder territory. So everyone made a big deal about this character. Her name's Laura. It doesn't show her last name. I think she's got a connection, but I think there's a strong possibility. I watch other YouTube channels, like we watched a movie, and another one I've talked about a few theories, none with spoilers, but one guy kind of figured out that there's a good chance that she's probably the first kill or killed at some point, but I think she's probably, I know she's a kind of a bigger name, so I'm thinking good possibility for opening kill, if not for the other guy. I think Henry Czerny's character will be the opening kill. The other one will have maybe a small part or show up periodically. I think they'd be more red herrings than anything, but I'm going to say now she is my guess for opening kill. And the openings of these are always pretty good and intense. I'm a big fan of most of the movie's opening scenes, so I'm sure this one will continue with that. Okay, and technically there's 6. I know I said 4 earlier. Technically there's 6 new characters. He plays Jason. He's the last of them. The last one we're going to go over. I think technically there's 5 new characters because I bet one of them is an opening kill. So I think his name's Jason. I don't think he's opening kill, but I think he's dead. I think Ghostface killing Jason kind of like I don't know. He's named after another famous horror movie, so I assume he won't last too long. At some point, he'll get taken out. But I think one of the other 4 is the accomplice Ghostface. I think Bailey is the killer. I think this is all connected to Stu. I think the cameo at the end is either going to be Nev Campbell or Stu, or they'll bring back Cotton or someone. I know Cotton should be dead, but I don't know. They brought back Kirby. I don't know who else it can be. I know it'll be a big deal because, there's only certain people. Can't bring Dewey back as much as we'd all love it. Unless they do like a flashback thing, but these are going to be my final predictions. I know they'll be winding down the trailers and stuff. They might get one more trailer. I'll probably watch that, but I'm pretty confident in what I'm thinking. I think it'll be a good movie, but I think it's going to build up to a bigger finale. And I think either Ghostface gets away or they lead to the mastermind, or they're going to hint at the mastermind. Like everyone will think they're good and they'll get a call, or there'll be 3 Ghostface and the one with a cracked looking mask will escape. Something like that. I can't wait for it. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how close my prediction's right. Let me know your predictions in the comments. No spoilers, please. I've watched, like I said, I watched other ones. Like we watched a movie. There's stuff's been great. No spoilers. So if you know, please don't write it down, but rate your guesses and what you think of my theories. So can't wait to see it. I'll definitely review the movie when it comes out. Have a good one. Thor out.